Teofimo Lopez Tyson Fury wins 2020 Ring Magazine Fighter of the Year. Leaves some fans in controversy. Let's talk about it.
Rather than just picking one guy, which is normally done, the ring staff selected two guys and made a mess of things by putting Fury, 31-0-1, 21 KOs, in with the talented TEOFIMO, 16-0, 12 KO. What a pity. If you're TEOFIMO, do you accept the Ring Magazine Fighter of the Year award, or do you turn it down and tell them to come back when they're ready to give it to him all alone? It's just weird that Ring Magazine would rate Fury's win over Deontay Wilder in the same light as TEOFIMO's monstrous victory over Vasily Lomachenko.
Some people do not like it that Teofimo Lopez has to share Fighter of the Year with Tyson Fury. Why are there two instead of one? Shouldn't Teofimo deserve to have this award by himself, is what people ask me. Why are they doing this? Can you speak on this? Okay. Yeah, I can. Number one, let's speak on these guys' performances. Teofimo Lopez was arguably considered the best fighter, pound for pound, on the planet. Even though we know he wasn't really that, the boxing world dressed him up like that. We know that. Tyson Fury beat Deontay Wilder's long reign as the WBC champion. That's something couldn't nobody do. Okay. The difference between these two is nobody could do what Tyson Fury has done because Deontay Wilder wouldn't let nobody with a pulse get near him to do it. It's hard to actually reward one over the other. Me personally, I would not pick two people. To me, undoubtedly, it would be Teofimo Lopez. That's a no-brainer. Once again, why? Tyson Fury did what he did to Wilder because Wilder allowed him to get next to him. Okay? Deontay Wilder gets outboxed by everybody. Okay? It's that right hand that saves him. Dominic Brazil outbox him. Bermane Stiverne outbox him. Luis Ortiz outbox him. It's not shocking or hard to outbox Deontay Wilder. That's just the truth. Okay? Now, when it comes to Teofimo Lopez, Vasily Lomachenko was a guy that people called the Matrix, untouchable. They never seen anything like this. Footwork of the gods, blase split. So since it seems to be like these guys are getting Fighter of the Year rewarded off one fight and not their actions throughout the year, then I would have to say Teofimo Lopez's accomplishment eclipsed what Tyson Fury has done. It's just a simple, plain and true. Okay? Tyson Fury beat a guy that most people call skillless. You know? Skillless, and everybody outboxed him. Lomachenko beat the guy that people said was the guy. That's a huge difference. Now, this is the thing. I love Tyson Fury's performance against Deontay Wilder. I watched that fight. I'm probably going to watch that fight again today. I watched that fight frequently because it was just beautiful. It was. It was. But nonetheless, I have to look at who you beat and who you did that to. Even though I don't want to take away from that beautiful ass performance. It was beautiful. It is. I love that fight. That's one of my favorite fights. I love Tyson Fury's attitude coming in the fight. I love everything about that fight. I didn't want that fight, but you know what? I'm not mad that fight happened. I'm really not. That's why I'm down for a rematch, but most people are not. I'm going to digress, you know. That's their personal feelings, you know. But I love that. But at the same time, Teofimo Lopez reached back in time and pulled something out of the past that we haven't seen in a while. It's been a while since we've seen a boxer go at somebody like that and he chased his fight old school style. And the buildup that he made for himself up into getting his title shot and stuff like that was great. The knockouts and the performances that he did on these guys that year before he got his title shot with Coleman was great. It was great. So yes, Teofimo Lopez deserves Ring Magazine by himself. He does. Now, I think why my boy Diaz brought this to me is because it's looking like, and I'm glad we're talking about it now. I really am. It's looking like the Latino guy can't have Ring Magazine by himself if there's a white fighter to be praised. Once again, that's also true. See, you guys seem to think that double standards and unfairness in boxing seems to just happen to one group of people. No, it happens to the Latino fan base too. See, there's certain order of things how to go. To find out what went on with Ring Magazine and Teofimo Lopez and why some people in the Latino community don't like it, all you have to do is compare how come Canelo Alvarez didn't get #1 pound for pound fighter while they was saying Lomachenko was pound for pound #1 fighter. Once again, I brought it up. The only time they want to talk about Canelo's pound for pound #1 fighter is when Terrence Crawford gets past that crown. Now they got to let you know, no, it's Canelo. I would have liked to have thought it has been Canelo this entire time. If not, Canelo should have been pound for pound, I don't know how many years in a row already. But y'all could have gave Canelo Alvarez that title when Vasily Lomachenko was #1. The question is, why didn't they? I brought it up. Why didn't they? How come when Loma sat in that seat, nobody wanted to recognize Canelo's massive resume, skill set, and all this other stuff? How come it wasn't recognized then? Once again, you guys got to wake up to the established order and how things work and how they want things to work. Okay? The reason why Teofimo Lopez can't get Ring Magazine by himself because they have to recognize and praise the action that Tyson Fury did. Okay? That was a great win for them. And that's certain kind of people who believe that a certain image should always be upheld up over all other people's images in boxing. You guys know what I'm saying. All right? This is why the Ring Magazine is shared both by Teofimo Lopez and Tyson Fury. But truthfully, I would not give Tyson Fury a Fighter of the Year for beating Deontay Wilder. Now, I would give Tyson Fury Fight of the Year. He could earn that. But then again, he would still be competing with Teofimo Lopez. But in that case, I would actually lean towards Fury just because I enjoyed that win more. I love Lopez's win, don't get me wrong, but it was just more electrifying what Fury did. In that case, Tyson Fury is that guy. I would give him Fight of the Year, not Fighter of the Year. But that's where you guys have to understand that they always want to present things a certain way. And if they can't get who they want in the #1 spot, they will accept substitutes. This is what you really need to hear if you don't hear anything in this video. They want certain people in certain spots. And if they can't get that person, they will accept substitutes. And the substitutes even have order. The last person on the list who they want to hold that spot is a black athlete, black boxer. If they can't get a Caucasian to sit in that spot, Latinos, you guys will be the substitute over the black, but never over the white. If they can't have this person, they're going to use you, the Latino, the Filipino, you guys will be it. If by any chance we cannot orchestrate or make it like that, then yeah, okay, I guess we got to acknowledge the Terrence Crawfords. I guess we got to acknowledge the Floyds. I guess we got to acknowledge the Andre Wards. That is what goes on in boxing. It's no need for people to get upset. When you address something and you bring attention to something, you're just talking about what is. If that's what goes on in boxing, that is what I'm going to bring to you. It's not something that I want to choke down your throat. But when you look at boxing, you guys can't understand a whole lot of shit simply because you don't want to look through this lens, because maybe you don't want to think it doesn't exist. Maybe you want to pretend like it's not there. But that's why you can't understand a lot of shit. Once again, this is why I keep bringing up, why do you think they always match black and brown together? You think boxing's not sold to you on a race tip? It is. So other than that, yes, Teofimo Lopez is Ring Magazine's Fighter of the Year, if you ask me. I don't think it should be held by 2 spots. But then again, you know, that's my opinion on it. You know, I know other people that feel a certain way about it as well, you know, which brings me to the next thing about this subject about Ring Magazine Fighter of the Year. From what I hear, I don't know, because I'm not subscribed to these channels. And once I unsubscribe to these channels, they do not show up on my YouTube feed. So I wouldn't know what goes on unless you guys come to me and talk to me about it or tell me about it. So from what I hear, I haven't seen, but from what I hear, there's a certain group on YouTube, no shocker, that seems to be upset about Teofimo Lopez being Fighter of the Year. Okay? I guess people think Errol Spence deserves Fighter of the Year or some shit like that. Well, you guys got a lot to answer about Errol Spence then, because Errol Spence is supposed to be this great fighter with this immaculate resume and all this other shit. Yet he's not considered pound for pound number 1, 2, or 3. And yet when it comes to Ring Magazine Fighter of the Year, he's also not mentioned. So y'all got some explaining to do to yourself. Okay? I don't know why y'all want to go around and shop Errol Spence like this guy is something great than what it is. What I can't get about you people who back Errol Spence from a PBC. I don't even know what y'all are now, because y'all not pro-black. You guys are not that. And, you know, I don't know what you are. I don't even know what you guys are anymore. You know, but nonetheless, you guys shop this guy around like he's something special. And if you believe he's something special, that's fine. This is the only thing that I don't get. How come you cannot say Errol Spence is special and give him his praise and, you know, I don't know, fanboy for him, but how come you just can't recognize or congratulate somebody else? That's what I want to know, because that's what boxing came down to. The inability to be happy or congratulate the next person because your guy didn't win. Teofimo Lopez deserves that. Errol Spence does deserve. Tell me, what did Errol Spence do? I'm not picking with y'all. I'm being serious. What did Errol Spence do to deserve Fighter of the Year? Huh? Went life or death with Sean Porter and Mikey Garcia? What? And this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm going to say in closing about Fury. If you guys didn't give him Ring Magazine for beating Klitschko, then don't try to give him Ring Magazine for beating a talentless Deontay Wilder. That don't make no sense to me. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. Right after he beat Klitschko, if you ain't give him Fighter of the Year, then shit. I mean, I can't remember if they did or not, but if you didn't and you trying to give it for Wilder, that's just backwards. But like always, my opinion, Bruce Van, I'm out.